Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Healing Frequencies Music. And today we have Merlin with me, who probably wants on my lap. As I've been doing over the last few videos, is giving an overview of some of the classes that I have. And the most popular class at this point is the Frequency Basics class, which is in 30 lessons. So once Merlin situates himself on my lap, I will share my screen and I'll show you the little tidbits of Frequency Basics. Okay, so share my screen. We are going to start the slideshow from the beginning, maybe. Here goes. Okay, Frequency Basics is a course that I designed over a period of several years and had it in a forum. If you were one of those people who signed up for it originally, let me know. I made it so that you can download all the materials. After about 4 years of it being in the forum, I went ahead and put it in paper format, which is about 400 pages. And from there, I have put it up for sale. Next, let me just give you some tidbits. First of all, I have to move myself higher up. Come on, move. So there's 30 lessons on how frequency works. There's nearly 400 PDF pages, and they all have clickable links. All you have to do is open up the PDF, read it on your screen, then all of the links, you should be able to click to them. There's lots of activations and mini assignments within each lesson. And most of the lessons, I actually do an overview, a video overview. If it involves music, I generally do some demonstrations on the piano and a bunch of other things. There's sources and sources and even more sources. I'm an academic, I'm a creative academic, so I can sway both ends. So I like to overload with sources, and you might feel a little bit of brain fry at first, but take it at the pace that works for you. There's videos of experts discussing how frequency works in their respective fields. Some things I don't know a lot about, but I have enough just to make me dangerous sometimes. Now, when it comes to music, I'm pretty well versed in that topic. There's enough information to get you started in your own frequency journey, and you could easily get through this, depending on what your knowledge base already is. But if you're a beginner, it's going to take some time. And I want to make sure you have the most accurate information. And how will Frequency Basics help you? Here are some ideas that I have found. You're going to understand the difference between the various types of frequencies on the frequency spectrum: ultraviolet, hertz, infrared, radio frequencies. There's all kinds of frequencies. This particular chart here shows a comparison of hertz, which are musical frequencies, and nanometers, which are color frequencies. You will notice on this chart that it says here the note B sharp or C. That is green. Any of the charts that show you that C is red are wrong. I had a friend who did the math, and I've double checked it a few times, so this chart is accurate. For musicians and artists, you'll learn how hertz relates to other frequencies, and I show that example with this chart. And you learn how to determine which frequencies are best for you. And anyone who tells you, use this frequency, it's the one that you need. Well, I'm sorry, your body is not the same as mine. Your emotions aren't the same as mine. What's going to work for one person is not necessarily going to work for another, generally. And I say general because it's not 100%. And it's just much about intention as it is the actual frequency. That's where we come up with the placebo effect. You create the world that you live in through releasing frequencies, both negative and positive. Well, how do we often do that? Well, it's called the mouth. Pay attention to what comes out of your mouth, and you're going to pretty well know whether it's positive or negative frequencies that you're releasing. We'll leave that one just lie right there for you to ponder on. Okay, lessons 1 through 6. I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version. Lesson 1 is all about just basically an introduction into the frequency concept. In lesson 2, I compare concert pitch versus temperament. So much of the stuff that's out there in internet land now is using musical frequencies and comparing it to other things. But we're finding some of that information is incorrect because the people who are putting it out there are not musicians who read music and who understand music theory. You're going to learn how to feel sound, what it's like, and the whole A440 conspiracy. And I'm like, dude, I've been playing in 440 my entire life, and wait, there's nothing wrong with me. There's so if anyone tells you that 440 is harmful, well, look no further than yourself or myself. It hasn't. Yes, it might have something to do with frequencies that being harmful, but that's more about the intention than it is the frequency itself. Enough said about that. Then I'm going to go through some music history basics to show you how we came up with a 440 and what we know about instruments in the past. It's not like I haven't had enough music history and music theory classes throughout my various degrees. So I think I'm pretty adept at explaining that. Then there's the natural laws of music, which is the harmonic series. And there's a picture of the harmonic series. And interestingly enough, it looks a lot like a conch shell. Lessons 7 through 12. There we go. My little banner was hiding it. Number 7 is about the ancient solfeggio frequencies. There's a lot of misinformation about that. They're frequencies, sure, but are they musical frequencies? Maybe not. I guess you'll have to get the course to find out. And I have some blog posts about it too. Lesson 8 is all about numbers and how you see these numbers in musical frequencies and sacred geometry in a whole lot of places. Chromotherapy is about color therapy. Then cymatics. There's a picture of cymatics to the left. There's many places that we see cymatics. So you'll get to learn a little bit about that. Water memory. Did you know that water carries the memory of everything that's put into it? And that we can change that? We'll get into that more in lesson 11. Lesson 12, your thoughts and intents create an action, which releases stuff into your being that can be helpful or harmful. It's just as much about your intentions and what comes out of your mouth as it is about anything else. Lesson 12 is a very important lesson if you want to change things in your life. Moving along, lesson 13 through 18. Royal Raymond Rife. He's the guy who came up with the cure for cancer in the 1930s, and certain organizations shut him down. We'll leave that there. The healing powers of music, entrainment and entanglement, what it is and how we can use it to our benefit. Archaeoacoustics, that's a hard one to say. I do 2 lessons on archaeoacoustics, and that is a study of ancient sites using acoustics. And you can go and measure the standing resonances in most of these places. And there's an interesting similarity between many of these ancient sites, which you'll learn about in the frequency basics class. Going on to lesson 18 is Coral Castle. And here's a picture of Coral Castle. It was single-handedly built by some dude named Ed Leedskalnin, and Coral Castle's in Florida. I give you lots of really good, yummy information about Coral Castle. Lessons 19 through 24. Here's a picture. Oh, we'll get to there. Crop circles. There's a picture of a crop circle where they've done some measurements on it and they've shown what they are in megahertz. And I went in and moved that down to hertz, which is musical frequencies. And I'm like, they're F sharp major, F sharp minor triads and scales. We're going to see how that fits in with the frequencies of creation later on. Lesson 20, the Rosslyn Chapel Cymatics in Edinburgh, Scotland. And they've been there for years, and they've only been recently discovered, and they play a little tune. Lesson 21, the frequencies of the Great Pyramid. And there are many. Did you know that the Hebrew letters, this is lesson 22, actually have musical frequencies? And they're related to the musical harmonic series. What are the odds of that? Then we learn in lesson 23 about flower and sound essences. And it's through intention as well as flowers. We all know that plants have healing properties. Well, if you're using the petals and things of the flowers themselves, you can infuse that into sound essences. And remember that water carries memory. Lesson 24 is all about sacred geometry. Lesson 25 through 30. 25 is an introduction into quantum physics. I am not a physicist, so I can only give you the basics, but I send you to places where people know more information. Lesson 26 is all about the government of music. Sound, rhythm, harmony, all of those things that work together to make music what it is. Lesson 27 is about epigenetics and your DNA. And epigenetics is where we carry our memories and things from our ancestors, and we can override and overwrite the epigenetics in our system, which will change our DNA. And lesson 28 is all about consciousness. This is where your thoughts and your intentions really come into play. There are many people that I personally know were healed simply by reframing their mindsets so that things would settle in their consciousness. You know, a key to this, if you're constantly pouring negative thoughts into your entire being, then that's going to come out through your physical body. And this is where dis-ease settles in. Lesson 29 is I introduced the frequencies of creation. I'll just say it's rather fascinating. There's a lot of correlation between everything that you're seeing in these lessons with the frequencies of creation. And lesson 30 is where you connect all the dots. And again, there's about 400 plus pages of this stuff. And I know that over the years, you're going to be able to add to it. I only updated this recently. It's found on my website, healingfrequenciesmusic.com, which I'm going to put a link below. You purchase it securely through Gumroad. I like Gumroad because you can sell albums there, PDFs, all kinds of things, and just download it directly. So you're going to download the PDFs directly from Gumroad. You're going to need a free Gumroad account. And the key is Gumroad, sometimes most of their mail goes to your junk. So I just tell people, once you get a free account, log into your Gumroad account and go find the stuff you've purchased and download it to whatever devices you want. And here's the thing, just like technology, this information is constantly being updated. So some of the links that are in the documents may no longer work, but there's enough information in there. You just go into YouTube or you just do a Google search and find additional stuff. Now, if you find things that I don't have, feel free to send it to me and I can update some of the lessons, which I try to do it every 2 or 3 years anyway. So thank you for watching this video. The best thing to do is you click on the link that's below. Then you're going to read the course details and you'll see a buy now button. You click on the buy now button and it takes you to Gumroad where you can purchase the course. And that's when you log in and you download it. Now I'm going to stop sharing. Those are the basic tidbits of information for the Frequency Basics course. And the one thing is I have lots of silly little assignments and fun experiments for you to do in there. Now, you're not paying to have feedback with me for that, but I don't mind an email or two. And I am working on finding other sources where people who are participating in the classes can get on monthly calls. I'll announce that when it's ready. And whatever course you're taking, you can always get on that call once a month, and there you go. Okay. So I hope that you find this a fun course. So feel free to sign up for the Frequency Basics class, and you'll find the link below. Thank you, and have a bodacious day.